So you want to get your music out on social media, but you don't know where to start. Or you're tired of jumping into other people's posts and telling people in the comments to check you out, only to be disappointed with the result. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get your music out on social media as a music producer the easiest way possible. I'm going to show you guys how to do it and the benefits of doing it. From the creative process to the editing, to the tools I utilize, and even the methods that I use that'll turn one beat into a couple pieces of content. I'm pretty much exposing it all. Plus, I'm gonna give you guys a realistic schedule that you can actually commit to that'll not only give you real-time results, but it's not gonna burn you out and it's not gonna intrude on your creative process. Now, before we jump into the process, I gotta explain to you guys why and the benefits of doing this. Now, the world is changing rapidly, and with that comes a ton of challenges and opportunities for growth. Now, there's a ton of stories of people's lives completely changing, all because of the power of social media. Whether it was the right eyes seeing them, or a video that finally peeked through and people were able to see the gold mine that they've been working on for the past 6 months that people have not seen. It's kind of like when you hear about like a new show or a video game and it's been there this whole time, you just didn't know about it, and then you start playing it and you're like, damn, this is crazy. Listen, my own personal experience, I used to pass up Ozark and Breaking Bad until one day I was just like, you know what, let me just check this out. And once I watched the first couple episodes of each show, I was completely hooked. That's kind of like how social media is. People just haven't found you yet. So when you think of it like that, you'll have no problem working behind the scenes doing what I'm about to show you, because eventually when you do shine, you're gonna have a gold mine to provide people. Now, the benefits of doing this is it builds your brand and it builds that online face card. Listen, the old method of screen recording, the waveform with the beat playing in the background, that shit is ancient and nobody's stopping to watch that. And unless you're blessed by the algorithm gods, nobody is gonna stop to go see that waveform with the beat playing. It's just not happening. Another benefit is it not only builds your network, but it builds a community, which helps you find other artists and other creatives so that way you can collaborate with and get more opportunities together. It also helps people see your work. A success story that I like to reference is from a producer named Nico Barron. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen his videos or even heard his music before, because he's went viral on TikTok plenty of times. The thing that he does is just make the sample or even show the sample that he made. Even if he doesn't break it down, it's just like a vibey sample that he makes and it goes viral. Some other producers that have built their name off of that is Oh Gosh Leotis, The Counts, Kalen Ellis, Steven Schaefer, and even though he already has his name developed, Hit Boy. Hit Boy does the beat videos from time to time, and he's a Grammy-winning, diamond, multi-platinum producer. So that should show you that nobody is above making content. Now, here's a couple tools you'll need. You'll need a DAW, OBS, a phone, a MIDI keyboard like this, and a webcam. Most computers have a webcam, and if you don't have a MIDI, you could also finesse it as well. Now that we got that out the way, we can jump right into the process. I'm gonna show you guys two different methods. One is called the beat playthrough, and the other one is called the live playthrough. Now, there's other creative ways to do these videos, but these are the lowest friction type of videos that you can make. You want to eliminate as much friction between the idea and the execution. Anything in between just really doesn't matter. Now, location doesn't matter. You can actually do it anywhere, but the fact that you have the freedom should allow you to set your phone up and just play the beat while you're recording. I would actually much rather you do it in a place where you're comfortable, because you can knock a couple of those out, so that way you get comfortable to go outside or go anywhere else and do it. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to go to like the Sears Tower at the top floor and do that shit. Though that shit would be cool though, but I'm not asking you to do that for the first video. First couple ones, we're just gonna knock out some low effort ones because we're at home. All right, so here's the beat that we're going to use today as an example. Okay, that was just a little quick beat that I made right before the video, just so we can use this as an example so you know that I'm not capping. So the first thing we're going to do is go up here to this arrow. We're going to click it, and then we're going to right click it and make sure continuous scroll is on. This is going to allow us to do this, to have that continuous scroll instead of just, you know, playing the beat and then going like this and then trying to follow along with it. All right, so you guys are in luck because I actually found out how to actually record over OBS, so I can show you guys the settings that I use for these videos. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is go to setting and then go to video and then change this to 1080 by 1920. Copy that, paste that down, and now it's gonna look like this. So what you're gonna wanna do is turn on your webcam. Boom, this is my webcam right here. And you're gonna wanna adjust the FL screen to something like this. You could keep it, yeah, you can keep it like this, but we'll keep it like this just for right now, just because the continuous scroll is going to do most of the work. Once you got it set up the way that you like it, just hit record and press play on the beat. That's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. Actually, let's do a second take because I got a PSP and I might want to be performative. Oh my God, I tried to get a touchdown on this shit when the beat was playing. But anyways, we have a few takes. We could just choose whichever one we like and then boom, there goes our beat. There's no rules with this. So don't try to be too cool or no shit like that. Nobody cares. If the beat is hidden, you can pretty much do whatever. Just make sure the beat is good. You know what I'm saying? Now that we have a few takes, we could just choose the best one and then go from there. All right, so this next method I'm gonna show you is the live playthrough. Now this is the beat that I'm gonna be using as an example. So that's the beat that we're gonna use as an example. Now for this one, you're gonna need a phone and a MIDI. You don't need a big expensive camera like this one. Your phone can get you by just fine. Now, before we move on, I actually need to share with you something super crucial and super important. That way you don't have a headache earlier. I need you to sync the audio. Now, here's the easiest possible way that I can show you how to do that. I turn on the metronome, I turn my volume up, and then I go to an empty channel, and then I play the metronome out super loud. Now that might be super simple, but it's gonna save you in the future because you have different audio sources. So you got the phone recording and then you have the OBS recording and they're not synced. So later on, when you throw them into your editing software, you're gonna look at the audio and you're gonna see a big spike in the waveform. And that's gonna allow you to link them up together so that way you know that they're synced up. Trust me, you don't wanna deal with the headache of trying to sync up audio because it would give me migraines. So I could only imagine how overwhelmed you would feel. So now that we got that out the way, here's a couple ways that you could approach this. You could either play the drums or you could play the sample chops like this. Personally, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this bass line right here. All right, I hope you guys got your snacks because now we're in the editing portion. Now the editing software that I'm gonna use today is called DaVinci Resolve. It's actually free and available for both Mac and PC. As long as you follow what I do, it's gonna be pretty effortless. So the first thing we're gonna do is the beat playthrough. Now I'm gonna throw the beat playthrough. Now to remove these black squares and only have that rectangle, all you gotta do is go up here and hit portrait and boom, it's sized to social media. Now I'm gonna throw the beat in there. Right click, add a track. Bring this down. Okay. Now, let me bring this up really quick. Boom, okay. Now here's the footage and here is the audio waveforms. I forgot to mention this in the OBS. What I like to do is I like to have 3 different tracks of audio because I was playing a beat and I had something crazy going on in the background and it printed onto that audio waveform. So I just try to have it 3 different audio sources, but they all record at one time together. So all I'm gonna do is highlight them, right click, and then hit auto align, go to waveform, go to automatic, and this should do the job. Now the reason why I like to have the actual beat is because sometimes OBS does compress the audio, so I like to have the original export of the beat so that way it just hit even harder. So instead of it hitting like this, it'll hit like this. It just hits a lot harder and it's a lot cleaner. But if you don't have the original audio or you don't feel like doing that, all you gotta do is just turn up the volume and then kind of just play it by ear. But today we're just going with the original beat. So me personally, I like to keep it around 30 seconds or at least under 30 seconds because you don't want to put the whole beat on there. It really serves no purpose. You just want the part that sounds the craziest so that way people can keep listening to it and then ask you for the beat. All right, my camera died, but what I was saying was I actually wanted to loop a lot better. So right here is when I'm gonna cut and delete all of this so that way it loops a lot better. All right, so this is what the final video looks like. And to me, that's pretty solid for a good beat playthrough. Now we can move on to the next one. Okay, so for the next video, what we're gonna do is create another timeline. Let's go 6 and 6. Now this is where we're going to drop this beat. Do the same thing, portrait, boom. Select all, auto align, and boom. All right, now that we got everything synced up, let's find the best part of the beat so that way we can follow that 30-second rule. Right here is what I'm feeling, so let's delete that. Let's add a little fade right there, and boom, you're good. You're good right there. All right, now this is our final video. Okay, that's pretty solid. Now, I know it looks a little weird. You might see a little grain or whatever, but it's gonna be on a small screen. People are not gonna notice it. Realistically, as long as it sounds good, that's all people care about. Go ahead, hit export. Now we can talk about tools that I utilize. I highly recommend Dropbox, especially if you don't have a Mac. But if you do have a Mac, AirDrop is incredible. But just to stay organized, sign up for Dropbox. Even if it's the free version, it's just a lot easier for you to have everything all in one place instead of searching around for it. And if you use PC and you want the equivalent to what AirDrop is, go to Snapdrop, and that's like the PC version of AirDrop. Now, another tool that I come across is called ManyChat. I'm pretty sure that you've come across a post that says, drop a fire emoji and I'll send you the link. And then it automatically sends you a DM. That is ManyChat. You can use that to get leads, send people links, as well as build your email list. It's actually free to use until you reach 300 contacts, and then it's like 15 bucks a month, but I think it's definitely a worthy investment. So I highly recommend you check it out. All right, now let's talk posting schedule. Listen, I know you want to post every single day, but that's not realistic, especially if you're starting off. And I know the social media gurus tell you to post every day, but realistically, what I want you to do is I want you to build that consistency and that muscle first, and then you can deviate from there. A realistic posting schedule that you can follow is posting 3 times a week with 2 creative batch days. For example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're gonna post. And on Thursday and Saturday, it's gonna be your batch days to create. Batch days are basically days where you're just dedicating nothing but editing and filming. That's kind of what I try to stick to when it comes to making videos. Now, here's what you're gonna do. Now, Monday to Friday, you're gonna create. And throughout that whole week, you're just gonna focus on creating music. I don't want you to worry about posting yet because we're gonna take first week to just create a ton of music. And then from there, once Saturday hits, we're gonna create the videos. So we're gonna take the best beats that we made throughout the week and then make videos out of them. Remember, one of those 2 methods because they're low effort. That's where you want to start off with. And then from there, you're going to edit those videos, which should take you realistically a couple hours tops if you don't know how to edit. But if you do know how to edit, which you've built the skill of editing, it'll just take you like maybe an hour or so. Let's say you make like 10 good beats that first week and 10 good beats that second week. Those 2 Saturdays, we're just making those videos. You have 20 pieces of content. My brain's a little fried right now, but if my math serves me correct, if you follow that formula, you'll have almost 2 months worth of content, especially if you're posting 3 times a week. So now that we have a posting schedule that we can follow, here's a couple things that we can do to get multiple pieces of content out of one beat. So you have the beat playthrough and the live playthrough. Here's another thing you can do. If you make melodies, especially really good melodies, you can mute the drums and just screen share the melody. You can put a caption on it that says, sample this with the BPM and the key. So that way people can take that and make their own beat with it. And if say 5 other people make a beat with it and they have different beats and they send it out to different people, that's more opportunities for you. Now, another thing you can do with your finished beats is you can put a caption that says duet this with the BPM and the key. Now, what this is gonna do is it's gonna incentivize artists to hop on that beat, and when they share it to their audience, that not only exposes you to way more, but if it's a hot song, you guys can put it on Spotify and boom, you can make bread that way, and you can build a working relationship with a new artist. So like I said, it's a lot of benefits there. You just got to get creative. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys understand that it's all about reps. The more you do it, the more easier it'll become. So let's just focus on consistency and being our better self this year. And hopefully the gems that I shared with you in this video can help you reach that next level. level. I purposefully didn't want to go super in-depth on this, and I wanted to keep it super basic because I didn't want to give you too much information overload. But maybe in a future video, I'll share a whole bunch of things that I couldn't have shared on this channel, but maybe on my own personal one I will. But with that being said, my name is Isaac Duarte. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. And let me know down in the comments what else you guys want to see, and I'll do my best to make it happen. With that being said, I'll catch you guys next time.